Hi, my name is Safira and I am so grateful to be given this opportunity to speak about one of the most taboo topics to be discussed by our society. And I also going to talk about how our society respond to that particular mental illness. So I'm going to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. So, if I Google the acronym PTSD, then I will acquire the knowledge that PTSD is a psychiatric disorder that can occur in a person who have experienced or witnessed a traumatic incident such as natural disaster, a serious accident, a terrorist attack, bombing, or war, and those who have been threatened with sexual violences can also get a PTSD. However, if I seek the meaning of PTSD from my acquaintances or friends, then the first response that they give me will not come in the form of an answer. It's another question. Do mind that the following examples were based on my personal experience. So, for example, if I ask one of my friends what PTSD is, then their response will be, "Why do you want to know about it?" Unfortunately, our opponents and our interlocutors asking this with a leering gaze as if we have just offended his or her feeling. The second response will be like this: "Are you okay? Do you need a psychiatric?" Now, this question seems to be caring. However, I have had an exchange with a person who asked this kind of question. However, instead of taking our question seriously, this person is making fun of it. And the last response will be like, PTSD? Well, I have heard about it, but I'm not quite sure what it is. If you never had the exchange like this, then I say congratulations. You're just being set free from the basic prejudice of our society. However, unfortunately, as I said, I have had the change to experience that kind of conversation, which was very inconvenient for me. I also had the tragedy that leads me to a traumatic behavior. So, my first experience about having a conversation that is very inconvenient about PTSD was happened back in 2017. So, I remember it clearly because we were talking about Ariana Grande. And in 2017, there was a bombing in Manchester Arena. A suspect detonated a bomb in the middle of Ariana Grande's concert. And days later, Ariana posted an Instagram story revealing her brain scan. And days later, Ariana said that she has a PTSD due to that bombing accident. So I was curious and asked my acquaintances' opinions about this. Like, I asked them two things, which are, what do you think about PTSD and what do you think about the bombing itself? So many of them give me a profound explanation and detailed explanation, such as they sent their prayers to those victims who have lost their lives. And they also said that it was so sad what happened to Ariana and they hoped that it will never happen again. However, none of them gave me the answer that I want, which was about PTSD. And please understand that all of my acquaintances are all good friends of mine and they are so lovely and kind. However, from their exchange, I realized that how taboo this topic is to be discussed in our society. Ariana's incident reminded me of my own traumatic events. So it was 2016. I remember it clearly as it was yesterday, and I remember it every day. So it was Monday morning, and I was wearing all white uniform. I was preparing myself for a flag ceremony. So my dad took me to school with his motorbike, and it was a lovely journey. We chit-chatted along the way, we talked about things, we talked about how lovely the weather is today. It was a fun journey. When suddenly, a man was seen driving his motorbike off from his course. So this man is driving his motorbike headed toward us. So my dad stopped immediately. But apparently that is not enough because that man still hit us. And he also hit another person behind us. For 3 months, I was traumatized. For 3 months, no one is allowed to drive me for more than 30 kilometers per hour. If someone did exceeded that speed limit, then my mind will go crazy. I will cry and beg them to stop and pull over. And when we did pull over, my heart will pounding so hard and so fast. My arms will sweat a lot, and my mind will go blank or insane. However, people just keep telling me how lucky I am to be alive, which I was. I was very grateful for it, for being alive, and I managed to escape with no physical scar. And no one is died from that accident. So many of the response that when I told them that that incident is traumatizing for me, many of them told me that it's okay, you're gonna be okay, you don't need to exaggerating it. And please do mind once again that these people are good people. However, since it is so taboo to discuss mental illness in our society, every good people in my society seems to have such a bad temper when we talk about this kind of thing. It indicates how taboo this topic is to be discussed. So anyway, according to a journal released by Pajajaran University regarding how a small group of society responding to a mental illness. So it is acknowledged that that particular group of society accepted the existence of mental health treatment and those who have mental illness. So, however, they discarded their existence. Like, okay, it's okay, but I don't want you to be near us. It indicates how indifferent and insensitive our society is toward mental illness issue. It's just a tip of the iceberg from what is happening in our society daily. We need more than just a small group of organizations working to increase the awareness of mental illness issue. The society needs to change their mindset for it. The society needs to embrace those people who have mental illness because the only thing that they need is a hug, an embrace. Tell them that it's going to be okay. Tell them it's fine. The society also needs to know that people with PTSD comes from traumatic events that happen from their past life. PTSD doesn't come out of nowhere. There must be a trigger that leads to a traumatic behavior. And the role of society is very important. For those who have mental illness, whether it's PTSD or other mental illness, it is important for society to open their mind and heart so that this topic won't be taboo to be discussed in our society again. Of course, for these past 10 years, our society has been raising their awareness towards mental illness, and it did work. However, we cannot discard the fact that there are some people who still think that mental illness is not a real thing or it's not a really important thing to be discussed. For me, I managed to stand up and rise from the crater of my traumatic events. For those of you who have mental illness or just a traumatic behavior, I suggest you to seek the help of professionals. and to seek comfort from those people who loved you. Because if mental illness is left untreated, it can lead to many other mental illness issues such as depression, anxiety, eating disorder, and the list goes on. So please, do seek a help from professional and seek comfort from those who loved you. Not only that, we also have to value our existence. We have to value that we are matter. We are important and we are unique in our own way. It is important for those people to know that nothing goes permanent. Their pain and worries is not permanent. It's just temporary. There will be a healing moment for them. Whether it is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, those healing moments will come to you. And when you do, you will be a more stronger, braver, and more resilient individual than ever. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.